This is better
It's
than
like,
the Valentine's.
all right, we're live. We're live. All right, team. We are picking up our last order of business of the day. We are taking a run through amended language on H67, our government accountability bill. I don't even know why I have an agenda in front of me anymore. That paper is useless. We are now with council to review the newest version of this proposed legislation. Council.
Thank you very much for having me, committee members. For the record, my name is Tim Devlin, Legislative Counsel. Before you, you have draft 3.2 of a committee amendment coming from this committee to amend House Bill 67, enacting to legislative operations and accountability. I would describe this as an overhaul, and its main trademarks are where we had a pilot government accountability committee. That is kind of being replaced with no longer a committee, but really refashioned as a project to be assigned to the Joint Fiscal Committee. So taking an existing committee and rather than creating a new committee, we're going to be assigning some work to the existing committee already. So the highlighted text here, and there's a lot of it, but you'll notice that it really kind of just pertains to transferring that committee into a project or transforming it, and then keeping what were the kind of duties and powers section, just kind of configuring them as charges to be completed by the fiscal committee. Those will remain unhighlighted, unchanged from the last time we did this. And then we have some changes to the reporting, and then noticeably a kind of the consultant / employment and appropriation section at the bottom, 3. So starting from the top, we have, let's see, in 2B section 2, pilot government accountability project assignment, subsection A, the Joint Fiscal Committee shall, in addition to its other duties described in law and rules, conduct a pilot government accountability project to examine governmental practices, make recommendations on improving those practices, and develop effective tools for evaluating government accountability. I should state that second half of that sentence is not new. Moving on to selection of project issues before the committee. Before, we had a mechanism where it was kind of ideas were shopped around by various committee chairs and then brought to House Gov Ops and Senate Gov Ops, and then kind of picked amongst those. This changes it so that the Chief Fiscal Officer, Joint Fiscal Office, in consultation with the Speaker of the House, President Pro Tem, and the leaders of the major political parties in both the House and the Senate, will select issues for the committee's consideration and refer those to the Joint Fiscal Committee on or before August 1st, 2026. Okay. So it'll really be the Joint Fiscal Officer who's putting forward recommended topics. So then we move on to just change the header of the duties and powers to charge, and the charge of the committee. So the committee is charged with completing, to the extent feasible, project elements as described in this section, and then we have the returning to language previously reviewed. Would the committee like me to go through that or skip over it?
Well, I was going to hit the hold on a second button there to just see if anybody had questions about the new words that were highlighted. And I guess my question would then intersect into council's question. Representative.
I just want to make sure I'm that we're on 3.1, correct?
3.2.
2.
Oh, I don't have that.
It refreshed.
It's in the documents.
I was like, the date's wrong. Thank you.
Okay, so Rep. Hoover.
Major political parties has a meeting.
It does.
Exclusive.
It's defined in Title 17 for election law. It would be currently the Republican, Democratic, and Progressive parties. Okay, so let's see, let's skip down to the reports and now we're on top of page 4. So we've changed some dates here, on or before December 15th, 2026, so this year. And then again on or before November 15th, 2027, the committee shall present and submit a written report to this committee and sister committee of the Senate. Includes any findings on issues examined and recommendations for legislative action. And so just kind of revisiting the timeline, we have JFO will provide the committee with ideas for topics on or before August 1st of this year. Then the committee will issue a first report on December 15th of this year, and then a final report on November 15th of the following year. And then we move on to joint fiscal office consultant and appropriation. And really, I should say it's not exactly, this will provide JFO the option of either hiring a consultant or contracting with a consultant or creating a new exempt temporary service position, both for 2-year terms, but it gives them the flexibility and freedom to choose which one would work better. And that person would be hired or obtained by JFO for the purpose of conducting research and analysis and to provide other support as necessary for the Pilot Government Accountability Project. Support of the Joint Fiscal Committee. The appropriation we see in B is, let's see, come from the general fund in fiscal year 2027 for the sum of $150,000 for that project personnel. That's it.
I have a hand from Rep. Payne.
So I don't know if I asked this yesterday or not. I can't remember what draft we saw or we were in front of council. And maybe this is more a joint fiscal question, but where this money live in the budget, seeing as we already submitted our budget letter to appropriations?
I would defer to Jess on that question.
Please, yes.
Catherine Bennett from the Joint Fiscal Office. So I believe the Appropriations Committee is collecting bills like this, and my whole understanding is they will be taking all the appropriations and putting them into the budget, and it will be discussion for them about, is this a priority for them to fund this out of the funds they have, or look at all the trade-offs. So that would be where it would come in. Is that what you're asking?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
So similarly to what they do with our requests, is my understanding now that they will also consider these outline requests that were not previously requested by a committee of jurisdiction.
That's correct, and you're not alone sending a bill to them.
Okay. Thank you. So then I guess my other question is, since we ran into this with some other legislation that we passed a few years ago, maybe it's for the bill sponsors, but this will not create a problem down the line if appropriations doesn't fund it. Because we've had other instances where a position is created, but there's no money for it in the appropriations process. And that led to, we can't do what we were charged to do. So will this not be the same situation?
My belief is that I have no control over what happens down there. I have had discussions that lead me to believe this is something that's a priority. And, I guess we'll see how that plays out, but my understanding is that this is a priority as far as appropriations are concerned.
I guess I probably wasn't asking that correctly. Will this individual would not be hired if there was no money?
Correct.
So this work would not go forward.
Most
if there's
likely.
no money. Okay, thank you. That's all I need to know.
Is that a request for, yes, Rep. Hoover? Burlington.
So is that 100% true? No contract position, your office would not do anything to comply with the request?
That is correct. We have a full load this summer of other studies that we're doing.
Generally, having been around state government for a long time and these studies pop up from here to here. I was not going to support the global aspect. I could support this one, but it's $300,000 in these times that could be spent other places. We'll see what comes out of it.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you, council. So I know the committee had time to review this before we sat down. And we've been talking about this bill for
Years, yes.
2 years, and the concept for much longer. But given the amount of work that's gone into this, especially in the last 2 or 3 weeks, I'm grateful that we have something that's refined and very focused and seems manageable for the folks who have to help support this work. So thank you to JFO also for helping guide this process in a way that is an achievable. So, any other comments? Considerations? No. Hey, Madam Ranking, would you like to make the motion?
Yeah, I make the motion that we find draft number 3.2 of H67 favorable.
Okay. Barring no further discussion, the clerk shall call the roll.
Representative Boyden, yes. Representative Coffin,
Yes.
Representative Hango,
Yes.
Representative Hooper of Randolph, Representative Hooper of Burlington,
Yes.
Representative Morgan,
Yes.
Representative Nugent,
Yes.
Representative Pincinel,
Yes.
Representative Stone,
Yes.
Representative Waters Evans,
Yes.
Representative Byron.
Yes.
11-0-0.
All right, everybody. All I'm gonna say about this week is we kicked it off with a budget memo that was robust and extensive. And I don't even know how many bills we passed, with the bills that we bundled into omnibus bills. And I'm just really proud of what we managed to achieve. Because we do have a big comeback. And we set a goal of a certain amount of things to get out of this room. And we exceeded that. So, well done. Everybody enjoy your break. Do something fun and mildly irresponsible for me with